Hi guys, welcome to Boats and Engines. On this episode I'm going to be showing you firstly how to free off steering on an old outboard. This is on the Mercury 1000. This episode was just going to be about changing the water pump, but I found that I had to free off the jam steering before I could get to that. So it's also about changing the water pump, which is nice and simple.
I've had a good look through and I was right, so you need to take out or loosen off that bolt there, two here which are actually already missing their nuts, loosen off this one and its opposite number on the other side, and I don't know if you can see it, down in there there's another nut which has to come off. Trouble is, to get to that, I think you need to steer the outboard right over to one side, and I've discovered my steering is absolutely sea solid. There is a grease nipple round here. I haven't got a grease gun, I've got to get one. It'll be useful anyway. So I think what I'm going to have to do is heat up in here, phone up in there. Up in here you can sort of see, I can't get the phone in close enough, so this steering tube up in here, so I get the blowtorch out, put some heat on it and waggle it backwards and forwards. I had a little look on Google and apparently there is no steering lock, so it must just be seized up, which wouldn't surprise me if it hadn't been greased and it's been sat for, well, the guy said 4 years, but it could be a lot longer. I could try taking that grease nipple out and put some penetrating fluid in it as well, but I'll just try heat first of all and see how we go. Went and got myself a grease gun, and it is pumping in, but it's really hard work. But I've just noticed, getting there with the torch, a little bit of grease is coming out of the top, not out of the bottom yet. I'll keep going till loads are spilled out and hopefully it's pushed some of the old caked up grease out. Then I'll rock back and forth on it again, try and get it free, and hit it again with the heat. That's worked nicely. So I just pumped it full of loads and loads of grease, then tilted it up, and with it tilted up on the back side of this, I can't get the camera in, but this tube you can get to it much better, and so I just kept the blowtorch on it for quite a long time, probably a good 5 minutes, and concentrating up here as well on the outside. You can see I've burnt away the paint, and the grease started seeping out, so I quickly let it down and wiggled backwards and forwards, and it sort of moved a little bit and then just came totally free. So I've pumped it full of loads more grease. It feels really nice now. So that works. I saw on the internet somebody did a video with pumping WD-40 or PB Blaster in with a grease gun to clear the old grease out, but I gave that a go, but it didn't seem to do anything at all, so I just squeezed in loads of grease and that's pushed out the old nasty grease, and a bit of heat to make it a bit more liquid. Seemed to work nicely. So now I thought that was going to give me a bit more access to that nut, but it's not that much better. but I'll see what I can do. There is just enough room now to get a ring spanner on here and just slowly undo it one flat at a time. That's come off nicely. Know what that little grommet there is. I guess that grommet pushes into this hole. So when you put it back, I think I'll put that on there. Guess that's the gear shift. Yeah, it must be. Yeah, so gear shift must go down to this little bit. So that's the water pump out. That's where it's been modified with the water pump in, and I presume I take off these 3 bolts, 3 bolts and 3 nuts and 1 bolt, and that cover should come off, and there should be an impeller under there, hopefully. I won't be surprised if there is no impeller though. There's no gasket on it. I don't know if it's supposed to be or not. Probably not, because it's just full of water anyway. There's some sort of spring thing there. It doesn't look quite right. Would have thought that bit's supposed to loop over there. I'll have a, oh no, it's got a little hole it's going to go through. Don't know if you can see that, just on this side and this side, so I think it needs poking back through. Right, I'll pull that pump apart and show you what I find. That came apart quite easily. I had to use a chisel, just a woodworking chisel, just to get it started. It's got some sort of shim plate on there, and water goes in from this pickup they've added through that bit into the input, then it comes back out up here through that hole there. I have to get a new gasket for this. It did have an impeller, so the impeller's keywayed in. Keep that the right way up because I want to put it back the same with this little keyway shimmy, whatever, goes onto that flat there. Get it to focus. So that impeller does look pretty worn out. I'll pull it out and it's probably stays more squashed on that side, and the lobes quite worn as well. At least it did have something. So I think all I'm going to need is new impeller, see if there's a part number on it, and new gasket for here. That should do nicely.
So now I'm going to attach the leg. I've got 2 nuts ready, just so I can temporarily tighten it down so I can let go. I've got the little rubber grommet in there ready, and so I'll attach it now. I might have to play about with the water pipe in there just to get it to line up and slide on nicely. See how this goes. I'll just look down to make sure the water pipe is lined up. Yeah, it's gone in nicely, but you can check that afterwards with a torch if you need to anyway. So now it's just a case of getting a better light, tightening up that bolt, that nut, sorry. Difficult to get to, one up here, two underneath which I've got missing, and this bolt here slides up through there. Tighten up that gap and she should be good to go. I'll just get a torch and see if I can see that water pipe here lines up nicely down in its grommet. The grommet did look a bit nasty, but it will seal. Next time I do a water pump, I'll change that one as well. So I'll get these tightened up, but essentially that's how to change a water pump on a Mercury 1000. And also, I suspect it's very similar on most old Mercuries, most small outboards. Hi guys, I hope that's been helpful to you. The water pump change, obviously very easy. The freeing off the steering a little bit more involved, but effectively what it came down to was lots of heat, lots of grease, and eventually you get there. So once again, thanks very much for watching. Please subscribe to our channel. Me and my mate Henry, we're going to be doing some really cool build series coming up. Building, first of all, resin infused carbon fibre hydroplane, which this outboard is going to be on. Later on, we're also going to be building a hydroplane with a Skyline RV engine, which is going to be a bit scary and quite cool. So thanks a lot, please subscribe, and peace out.